We start with the Lake Show. 8 straight W's, this one in overtime over a Knicks squad that can't beat good teams, and the Lakers are officially a very good team. Luka had 32, LeBron had 31. Okay, Brew, what was the key to LA's comeback? They were down about 10.
13 I think was the biggest difference.
13 late in the third, down 8 going into the fourth.
Well, I will say this, and great comeback by the Lakers. I don't want to belittle anything they did, but 13 points now is not the deficit it used to be, say, a decade ago or 8 years ago or whatever. And there was never a point in that game where I felt like, oh, the Lakers are done. Like, I went into that game thinking they were going to win. I thought the Knicks had a chance at points, and I think, okay, the Knicks are showing up. This is them making a stand. But I never felt like the Lakers were out of it, because today, in today's NBA, you can come back from 15, 17, 23 down because of the prominence of the three-point shot. So if you get hot from three and the opponent gets cold, that's when games can flip. And the Lakers' defense, LeBron's right. I mean, their defense was great. He did a great job on Karl Anthony Towns getting physical. That's why he can play center. Now, look, he can't do that against Jokic or Joel Embiid. But outside, I mean, there's very
right
few.
now, you could do it against Embiid.
Yeah,
right
Embiid
now.
can't even
just Jokic. Really, Jokic
yeah,
is
that's
the
what I'm
only
saying.
one.
Like, this talk that, oh, the Lakers are so small. Today's NBA is not nearly as physical as far as brawn and bumping and banging and things like that. So LeBron can do that to a lot of centers in the league. And so the defense was critical. And these stats that I'm about to show you, it was the defense on one hand and the three-point shooting on the other. Let's look at this. So the three-point shooting in the fourth quarter and overtime. Look at the difference. The Knicks were 1 for 11, 9%. Like I said, they got cold. Now, they weren't hot going into three. Neither team shot well all night. But they went extra cold in the fourth quarter, somewhat because of the Lakers' defense, give them credit. And the Lakers got hot, 7 for 15 down the stretch in the fourth quarter and overtime. Gabe Vincent hit 3 threes. That was huge. Obviously, Luka came out, got him going early in the overtime. But that three-point shooting, and look, Ramsey's jumping. Oh, Gabe Vincent going to do that every night, Gabe Vincent? No. But they only need Gabe or Dalton Connect or Dorian Finney-Smith, or one or two of the role players can be hot one night, and that's all they need. So that's why they came back to defense, and then they picked it up from three.
So I agree with you that from a margin perspective, it never felt out of reach. But this had, to me, from before the game and then through 3 quarters, all the ingredients of what I would call a totally acceptable loss.
Yeah.
Like, so, because I said, if you remember at the end of yesterday's show, I said, I was like, got a funny feeling about this game. And part of that was just the gambling kind of a 10A that I have, where the whole world seemed to be betting the Lakers -3.5. And by the way, they did cover in overtime, but that's a tough one. Because the Knicks were a desperate team in as much as at this point the noise surrounding you can't beat a good team had gotten loud enough that they were hearing it. The Lakers were the team missing a key piece. Like Rui, I think, is a key piece given their new construction. The Lakers were kind of due for a loss, and there was the Celtics game looming on Saturday night, kind of a bit of a look-ahead spot. And through 3 quarters, like, that's, this is kind of what I thought would happen. And then LeBron said it, the Lakers defense wouldn't allow it. You allow 15 points in the fourth quarter of an NBA game. That's kind of the inverse of, in the modern NBA, comebacks are easy. In the modern NBA, holding a team to 15 points in a quarter, damn hard. And
that's 60 points for a game.
Right. And so we had talked about how the blowout against the Pelicans got it kind of out of whack. But since the All-Star break, it was 102 or less every game that the Lakers were for their opponent. This was 99. In regulation.
A top 5 against a top 5
against
offense.
a top 5 offense with Jalen Brunson cooking. And so I thought LeBron's defense on Karl Anthony Towns was awesome. And I think that I don't know who would win an arm wrestling contest or a bench press contest. But
between those two, I'm going with LeBron.
Well, it sure seems, I know Karl Anthony Towns is bigger, but it sure seems like when it comes to basketball strength, LeBron is the more powerful player. And in the post game, I poke at Charles, but we all love Charles. Charles kept saying, Karl-Anthony Towns, I hated the Knicks offense in the fourth quarter. Karl-Anthony Towns needs to get involved. He needs to get shots. Kenny pointed it out. Some of that was LeBron was like, no, you're not. You're not getting to your spot. You're not posting me up. You're not getting comfortable. And so that was an awesome win for the Lakers. An awesome win.
Lakers in the fourth quarter. This is during their 8-game win streak. So what we saw last night, they've been doing all year. Also, Brew, I just felt like
23 points. That's crazy.
It's nuts. The fact that I thought the defining moment, obviously, was the end of the game where, hey, I think they got the ball with 9 seconds left.
That's a great point.
That you blitz Jalen, so he's the only one that's really going to create his own shot, and then you don't get a shot off. I remember last time I watched a game just end on a shot clock violation for a tie game. I thought it was
with 9 seconds.
With 9 seconds, it wasn't a 2-second thing. You had enough time,
right.
And the Lakers did it.
But that's one of the, and we'll get to the Knicks, but you saw it last night. One in that play, but also once Jalen was hurt, their offense was a mess. It's kind of reminiscent of Tibbs with the Bulls in Chicago when it was Derrick Rose centric. This is Jalen Brunson centric as far as handling the ball and creating.
I know we're talking Lakers here, just quickly before we talk big picture Lakers. Do you view that as a compliment to the Lakers or a dysfunction of the Knicks?
Well, the way they look, the Lakers deserve credit. You just showed the graphic. Their defense has been great, but that bad, that's on the Knicks. I mean, they don't really have another guy that creates offense and stuff, so I get that. But that was on the Knicks.
That possession, though, also shout out to JJ. The coaching, they blitzed him the moment he crossed half court. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that was a coaching adjustment for that one play that worked.
JJ is smart with he's smart, period. But the defense, man, they mix stuff up. They're obviously switching most of the things, but they're blitzing. Sometimes they'll go zone. Like, he's mixing stuff up.
You've always said this. A lot of want to.
Well,
there's a lot.
JJ said it.
Yeah.
He
said team coaches have said to him that very few teams are playing harder than them.
Well, no, JJ said when we were on vacation, he said, he goes, for all the analytics, and he gave a longer quote than this, but he was like, one thing I've realized is so much of defense comes down to how hard you're willing to play.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I've heard that before.
Flying around.
You gotta have a certain, there you go. Palms up, baby. Bring it on.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, let's look at the odds in the West. OKC is at 1. Lakers at 2. Obviously, the Lakers bruise pick. Called it before anybody to get to the final.
Look, Nick is understanding each and every day why I came out so strong like that. He's mad.
You've been the first. It's like how you call Mahomes Jordan-esque.
Yeah.
You're the first on a lot of this stuff.
The boat.
Thunder, Lakers, Warriors. Nuggets kind of sneaky far back. I don't know how Warriors all of a sudden jump.
Grizzlies are done.
And then the Grizzlies. So, Nick, we'll start with you. How dangerous is LA?
Well, they're dangerous. And you just showed the Western Conference odds.
That was just the West.
Brew picked. Can we show the title odds? Because Brew, if I'm not mistaken, picked them. He's on the record, first to market. Lakers are going to win the West. Can we please show the updated title odds? Oh, Lakers are winning the title, my friend.
That's a tough one.
Oh, sorry. Beat me to that one. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you. And I'll tell you the exact moment that because I was yesterday.
You said you weren't even sure.
I wasn't even sure. So this would be like, are you going to take my analysis seriously? If I can flip like that in one day, there was not just one day, one play made me say the Lakers are winning the title. And it's going to seem like an anodyne play. Dust, roll the LeBron 3. And I'm going to explain why this to me was the play. So this is just they're down 4 minutes left. Luka finds LeBron in the corner. And the reason that is the moment is I don't know that any human being has watched LeBron James play more basketball than me. I think we're tied for first with a lot of people. And I was like, man, I cannot remember the last time LeBron was open in the corner in a big spot late in the game. because he's always the one doing the Luka thing.
Right.
He's the one drawing.
He's never Kyle Korver.
He's never Kyle Korver. Right? That's exactly right. Like, I think there were a few, like maybe early him and D Wade.
But they weren't. He wasn't a shooter.
He wasn't
like
a shooter
that,
then.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is what we're going. LeBron all of a sudden is going to get those types of looks. What are you shaking your head about, KW?
I oftentimes accuse you of looking at
what? What is this? Hit a three, 91-90.
LeBron James role player. It's unbelievable.
I couldn't have looked at it. It was
already,
that's
unbelievable.
But
this is going to work.
So, Brew, you take that, you then add the fact that they haven't been, as was said before the game, good for 2 weeks. 6 weeks.
Right.
21. The league's played 60 games. They're 18-3 in the last 21. So that's a quarter of the whole season, but more than a third of the season that's been played. And it's not like, they hit the soft part of their schedule.
No.
Brew, they have beaten Boston, Denver, Golden State twice, the Knicks twice, the Clippers 3 times, and Minnesota just in this stretch. And so, for all those reasons, I'm proud to be the first person on the show to say the Lakers are winning the title. I'm just telling you.
I will one-up you on all your teams, you know.
Wow.
No, I can't one-up that. They have won, we know they've won 8 straight.
Yeah.
They have won 12 straight games, according to Josh, against teams with winning records.
Oh, yeah, because their losses in this stretch were Utah and Charlotte.
Yep. 12 straight games against teams with winning records. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Nick said. Offensively, I don't know what you're going to do with it. LeBron, and we both agree, is playing better than he has in the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah. No one could have foreseen that. And then you put him with Luka. You got 2 guys that this is so unique because both of them can consistently draw double teams off the dribble. If you don't double, they can finish. They both shoot really well now that LeBron is shooting the 3 so well. And they're both not only willing passers, but great passers. That means what Gabe Davis last night, they're going to get – I mean, Gabe they're going to get open looks all the time. Whether it's at the rim, whether it's a three-pointer or whatever, they're going to get those looks, and now they're defending. And here's the thing, because people will bring up OKC. And OKC, I think, has a tremendous future. And heck, I got the Lakers obviously winning the West, but OKC is tough. I don't want to write them off or act like I don't believe in them. But when people talk about the Lakers' lack of size, we just talked about it. LeBron was guarding Karl Anthony Towns. What size does OKC have? Yeah, they're tall. Isaiah Hartenstein?
I think
he's tough and but I'm saying that is not the type of size that is going to destroy the Lakers. Chet Holmgren, yes, he's tall, he can block shots, but he's not banging down there. He's not wearing somebody out down low. He's not scoring consistently down low. This is different. The size in today's NBA is different.
The rebounding is what you worry about more than when I think about the Lakers' lack of size. I don't worry so much, except for against Jokic, of the other team's center scoring 35. I worry about them getting beat on the glass by 15.
Well, look, Luka's a great rebounder.
And LeBron's rebounding out of his mind.
Yes, he's always been a solid rebounder for his size, or good rebounder for his size and position. And now that he's going to be down low a little more, I think he can be a very good rebounder.
Just 1 point on the Thunder. Jalen was doing it whatever he wanted to.
Yeah.
And also drawing fouls. So don't you think that, and Jalen's not in the MVP conversation, it's SGA. Don't you think that SGA could have a game
point guards? Yes.
Jalen plus?
Yes, but it's SGA, and Jalen Williams is emerging as a star. It's SGA, one superstar, against 2. Again, a lot of this is that LeBron is playing so well, and the fact that Luka's handling the ball and doing so much allows LeBron to conserve energy and be better at the defensive end, at the rebounding. We've talked, though, you've mentioned, if he was Karl Malone. Well, he's kind of playing like Karl Malone these days, except with the playmaking factor as well. So Yeah, look, the Lakers, man, are going to be they're a nightmare.
That's
for
why.
these teams.
That's why I'm
Good.
glad
One more
I'm first
point,
to
then
pick
I'm
them to
gonna
win the title.
prediction.
So just very quick,
Yeah.
because last night LeBron had 31, 12, and 8. Luka had 32, 12, and 7, just rebounds, assists. So almost identical stat lines, just rebounds, assists, flip-flop. And then Dust showed me this, which is an OptaStats tweet. So it's 5. Ignore all the numbers and then read the bottom. They're the first duo to do that over any 10 games ever played together. Yeah. And they did it in their first 10 games. Yep. So the reason
and remember, Luka started slowly.
Correct. So the reason I'm saying that is, it is not an exaggeration to say we've never quite had a duo like this. I'm not saying it's. I think prime Steph and prime Durant is, a different level, and Shaq and Kobe because they benefited each other so well. I'm not saying they're the best duo ever.
Kareem,
Right. What I am saying is, two guys, who are similar size, one of whom literally told us when he got to the league, I modeled my game off his, and the game they modeled off of is a pass first while also being one of the most devastating scorers in the league. It's just a very unique situation.
Well, and for that stat, the threes were apart, so that's obviously a new thing.
Yes.
Takes out a lot of old guys, but the fact that they're the size that they are allows them to rebound.
Yes.
And so and then their passing ability allows them to get the assist.
Next 4, in Boston on Saturday, Brooklyn, I'll give you a W there, Milwaukee and Denver. What would you be happy with? What would you be concerned about in these next 4 games?
I'd be very happy with 3-1. I would really hit the brakes on the enthusiasm at 1-3, and I think 2-2 is probably right.
Okay, Brew, is that where you're at?
It's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fair.
Meanwhile, the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, epic performance. Hurt his ankle at the end of the game, hit 2 free throws in overtime before the game slipped away. He had 39, but the Knicks are now 0-9 against the 2 best teams in each conference. This one was close, but usually the point differential is not good, around 18. I called this a must-win, and since they did not win, is New York officially out of the contender conversation?
To be fair, even if they had won, I would have came on here and given them love. I would have said, that's what I was talking about, Cat. Go out there, even though he didn't have a great game, go out there and make a stand. So I would have gave him some love, but I still would not have believed they're going to win the East. So I would have written them off then. I'm definitely writing them off now.
Right. Okay.
And
nice.
I mean, as winning the East, they just can't beat the good team. And it's not just that they're 0-9 against the top 4 seeds. They are 12-16 against teams with winning records. Among the 5 top teams in the East, that's the worst. Among the 10 top teams with the 10 best records in the league, that's 9th worst or second worst. That's 9th out of 10. Memphis is worse. And Memphis, we know, Ja has been out here and there. So they just, look, they're a good team. I'm not going to belittle them and act like they're not good, but they just aren't a championship contender. And here's a big reason. I complimented him madly yesterday. Cat, I think he is a very good player. But look at this. Against those top 4 teams, OKC, the Lakers, Boston, Cleveland, he drops to 16 points a game, a 10-point drop, field goal percentage plummets, and look at the plus minus. Now, we know he's not a great defender, but this is a big reason why. Because when your second best, or some might say best player, struggles like this against the top competition, you're not going to win.
Yeah, in a weird way, they're further than they were last year, further away. Because the East is... Last year, the East was in upheaval, right? Yep. Jimmy Butler missed the playoffs. So Giannis is injured. Joel goes into the playoffs injured. It was really just Boston, and then, you know what I mean, everybody else. And they didn't even get to Boston last year. Mm-hmm. This year, Cleveland is a regular season at least juggernaut, if not more. Boston is as good, if not better than last year, even if the record doesn't reflect it. And Milwaukee's healthy. And so, yeah, it is impossible for me to see them winning 4 rounds. It is basically impossible for me to see them winning 3 rounds. And I would be shocked if they win 2 rounds, which puts them in the exact same, because to win a second round, you're going to have to beat either Boston or Cleveland. You're not even either. You're going to have to beat Boston is what it's going to be. So I put them, sadly, because I liked what they did this offseason in real time, in the exact same spot they've been in since they got Jalen, which is a round 2 ceiling. They are round 2 is their ceiling, and honestly, it's really unbelievable, but that's been their ceiling this century. Literally, it has been. And so they got to round 2 with Melo. They
had that 1 year you thought that year maybe they could get past it.
And so that'd
be exciting though.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.